So let's get started. And the way we will do this is we'll go through those moments. We have 10 moments, 10 exciting moments lined up today, and we'll go through them one by one, and then have you share some insights, some backstories on those moments. So why don't we start right away and have the first moment lined up?
Run out chance here. Yes, I think he's got him. Ponting. Brilliant work.
Just to remind us about his brilliance in the field. Only had the one stump to shy at.
How good was that, Danny? Why don't you walk us through that?
Oh, well, look, and Moods clearly saw a lot of Ricky and played alongside him for Australia. So I think it's just a dime a dozen, Hunter Ponting. He was renowned for it, just so good at it, because Moods, I'm sure, will allude to, he practiced it a lot. This just doesn't happen. And it's just one of those things when it comes off, Ponting was right up there.
Yes. Why don't we have this, played on the side so that we can relive that, and probably Tom can walk us through.
Yeah, sure. It'd be my pleasure. Look, it's no surprise to see Ricky Ponting hitting stumps, even if it's just the one stump he's got square of the wicket. You don't get to see all three stumps. You only get the angle of the one stump. Ricky Ponting is brilliantly balanced as a fielder, and that was one of his great strengths. Gets into a very good position, and he's balanced when he's throwing. Therefore, his chances of hitting the stumps are always very, very high. And as Danny said, this is something that is not a coincidence for Ricky Ponting to hit the stumps. He tells stories, or he has told stories in the past about how he used to practice at home in the backyard as a 10-year-old kid, throwing against the picket fence and continually throwing to hone that skill of accuracy. He had a terrific throwing arm, whether it be within that sort of 30-yard circle. He spent a lot of his time at backward point, but he also was dangerous at mid-wicket, where he would hit the stumps as well, particularly in one-day cricket. So Ricky Ponting was one of the game's greatest fielders, alongside the likes of Jonty Rhodes, who was just a little bit earlier than Ricky Ponting. They did play against each other, but he's a little bit older than Ricky is Jonty. Herschel Gibbs is another gun fielder, and a lot of the West Indians, like the likes of Viv Richards and Roger Harper, just to mention a couple.
Right. You would have spent a lot of time seeing him practice, Tom. So is it something that he took time out of batting and then he said that I'll exclusively focus on fielding, or was it something that he was really good at right away?
Oh, look, Ponting's a natural athlete. He was not only a good cricketer. He was a very good Australian rules footballer. He's a good golfer. So when you have multi-skill ability, you tend to be able to adapt and become good at things quite quickly, because you've got that background of being a diverse sport person. Yes, he practiced it, but the most important thing about Ricky Ponting and fielding is he enjoyed it. It wasn't a chore. It was something that he really felt passionate about, and he enjoyed fielding. So whether that be in action on game day or whether it be at practice, he used to enjoy the practicing of the skill. So yes, he definitely take time out from his batting and take himself off and do his catching drills, do his throwing drills, diving drills. And a lot, as I mentioned earlier, is about good balance, good positions to be able to only take catches, or in this case, good positions and balance to be able to throw the stuff down from any angle.
Right. And I have one question for both of you, Danny and Tom. This was, I think, towards the fag end of Ricky's career. When you have achieved so much over so long, how do you stay in, you have the motivation to keep doing this stuff again and again?
Mood? You're older.
Over to you, Tom. Oh, look, okay. I'll answer that first. Yeah, look, yeah, it's sportsmen have a fire in their belly, and And you soon realise someone's coming to the end of their career. They lose that motivation. They lose that fire. Ricky Ponting had that fire in his belly right to the end of his career. So therefore, you know, when those sort of half chances come in the field, whether it be a throw at the stumps or a catch in the field, he was up for it. He was ready for it. So you know, everyone gets to a point in their career where that fire starts to wane and it becomes harder to do the practice. It gets harder to come up and be motivated for matches. Ricky Ponting was one of those players that had a fire in his belly for a long time, and he was hungry for the game and hungry for the contest.